What's up, guys? Ben here with True Carolina Outdoors. So today I want to talk about king mackerel rigs for the pier that we use here in the Carolinas, the East Coast. Not so much Florida, but we do use them here in North Carolina, South Carolina. They use them pretty much. Uh, other states like Texas, I believe, sometimes uses them, but we call it pin rigging here. And I have a few rigs that I want to kind of discuss and go over. So let's get into that. The first rig we're going to start with is a single wire rig, piano wire, if you will. Um, this is a little bit heavy on the heavier side. You can use like say 46 pound or uh, I use a 86 just because it is easier to tie. Uh, be mindful that this is visible in the water. So, but what I do is I start out with a snap swivel at the very top here, or not a snap swivel, but a barrel swivel. And then I make it at least full arm's length. And then we go to another swivel, which is also called the saddle. But I do a Y rig, and I use 3 hooks. That way you can hook one right behind the head, one in the tail, and the other one you can either leave it dangling. The stinger, you can leave it dangling, or you can hook it right around the belly area. And because when a king mackerel comes by, he likes to clip the tail. So the more hooks you have, the better chance you have of hooking that fish on the first try or the first strike. Um, Now we will move over to the my other rig that I'm just fixing to start using. Um, it is a 60 pound 7 strand, uh, same length, but I only use one swivel on this one. And then you can make these however long you want, depending on the size of the bait you're using. Um, but I do snell knot my hooks, and then I leave one slider so that way I can change to the size bait that I'm using that day. We use pinfish, mullet, little greenbacks that we call, or I call them. Like they look like little shad. Um, you can use ladyfish, Spanish mackerel, blues. Bluefish is our main bait. But if we can't catch blues that day, and they're just not around yet, or you know, they might just be away from the pier or something. And I don't have a problem throwing a pinfish on or anything, or even a whiting. Whiting is really good king bait as well. So with this being, you can throw a smaller bait using that slider, and with that wire being like that, the 7 strand is a lot easier to move around. It's flimsy, so it doesn't affect the way the fish swims. The other rig I had a issue, and the reason why I want to try this one this year or next coming season is because back in 2024 I had a tarpon strike, and I feel like he couldn't get that saddle in his mouth. Even though a tarpon has a really big mouth, I feel like when I had that big mullet on there, his mouth was pushing the rig away. So me having a more inline rig, he has a chance to get that rig in his mouth. Um, so with that being said, you have a lot more chances. I feel like, and I'm really wanting to put this thing to the test. This past year, um, had some vehicle problems, et cetera, et cetera. Um, so I haven't really had a chance to get down there. I want to run a different channel, but I shut it down earlier this year, um, and I'm firing this one up and seeing how we take off from here. And hopefully next season we can really get down there and put a hurting on some of these fish. Uh, but yeah, stay tuned. Like, subscribe, share the video, whatever the case may be, and we'll see you on the next one.